Down to the Hey everyone, welcome back. It's been a while. Been doing an interesting trading journey. I think maybe I could talk more about that later on. But today we're going to be doing a pretty hefty video. One that's been high in demand is a market overview with God's Entry, who has been doing the rounds recently. There's a poll going around with who people think in the community on Twitter is the best trader, and God's Entry's name popped up as one of the options. Um, I think it's God's Entry, Sona, uh, John's Cryptotherapy, and Crypto Ghost Ron. I think it's those four. I think it was those four. So yeah, that poll's going around. I think God's Entry was winning slightly last I checked. So I guess there are a lot of God's Entry fans around, but yeah, we're gonna. I mean, I'm a God's Entry fan. Yeah, we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be doing a market overview, some freestyle charts. We're gonna be taking some questions as well. So feel free to drop those questions in the chat. God's Entry is happy to answer them. And yeah, basically anything you guys want to ask as well, we can cover it. So yeah, we will kick off. So God's Entry, yeah, feel free to kind of share the good stuff.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me on. Figured I'd just come out and do a little update. We call a lot of these moves over the last couple of months in the Discord. I usually do these market overviews in the Discord and try to help everybody out, and they can have a little bit more one-on-one time and ask questions. So let me bring up a chart here. Let me share my screen. Where are we at? I think this is the one. That's the right one.
Yeah, I'll bring up some comments on the screen. So Omi and stock your pantry.
There you go. Sell them and go away. It's so true. Right. Whenever you're ready. Yeah, we'll start with this Bitcoin chart. It's kind of.
Oh, we got our daily RSI divergence, the bearish divergence. They're kind of playing out a little bit.
Yeah, it's weekly actually.
Oh, is that weekly? Oh, yes, it's weekly. Yeah, we got the weekly.
It's a higher time frame.
Oh, okay. We got bearish divergence on weekly.
Yeah, we have exaggerated here. Then we have hidden the yellow line. But my main point here, we get rid of those. A little bit cleaner. This is strictly looking at price action, just trying to get a feel of the market.
We'll get rid of these for, I guess just for people watching, because there are going to be people maybe slightly confused as well. Is do you want to just explain what it is you're looking at? Like, what is the bearish? What does bearish divergence mean? What's that telling you?
Just tell me the market has to go in the opposite direction. If we have bullish divergence, it needs a correction up. If we have bearish divergence, we need a correction down.
Okay, so to put it in simple terms, if it's bearish divergence, you're expecting price to go down. If it's bullish divergence, you're expecting price to go up.
It's one of the easiest tools I use to actually make a lot of my decisions, trading decisions, whether it's high time frame, low time frame. I generally like to see divergence before I enter any trade. Because I'm a counter trader. So meaning I'm trying to go against everybody else, counter the trend. Because trend trading is the easiest style of trading, actually. So I'm always looking for what they call the counter trade. So I like to hold my trades longer and turn them into swing trades. So I look for what they call like the very, very edge. That's where I want to be. Because generally you don't want to be where everybody else. Because usually the majority is wrong. So divergence is one of my favorite tools. All right, so let's just get rid of that for a second. I said many months ago, last year, once we lost this white shaded zone here, this is support. We've had support here. multiple times, support, 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 support again. So once we broke below that support, now that support comes resistance. And we stayed above that support. Where are we at here? For quite some time. A little bit over around 500 days. So now we've only been below it for like 330 days. So generally the amount of time it takes to break something going down, it takes us almost equal amount of time to break it going up.
Right. So because price was trending upwards for how many bars or how many weeks was that when it was above the zone?
Well, no, the zone was holding it up, support. So it was like 500 days.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So we can expect roughly the same amount of time for it to stay below that zone then, is that right?
Yes. Yeah, generally, it's a general rule of thumb. I mean, it doesn't always have to be that way. But I see this zone as a major support and resistance.
Yeah.
So,
right. So if people are suddenly becoming bullish that we're going to see the $100,000 Bitcoin like straight away, then this is suggesting that's not likely because we
yeah,
haven't been long enough.
they just don't understand the markets. They're just uninformed. That I don't want to say anything rude, but I've watched these markets for quite some time, so I learned the hard way, just like most people do, and that's why I try to come out sometimes and give my opinion.
Do you want to? So we've got over 20 people now, so a few people who can share their thoughts. Do you want to give your thoughts on, based off of how long you've been looking at Bitcoin charts, what your bottom case scenario is for Bitcoin? I mean, you've shared it with me, but
yeah, I mean, somewhere between 10 and 13K. Like 12.5, anywhere's in that area is what I've been thinking. But the only thing that would change my mind here, I would say, if we came down and made some sort of like double bottom here, worked our way back up. Like, oops, there we go. Put that there. So if we clearly hold this zone right here,
yeah,
we come down, make a double bottom, and up we go. Or even if I do something like this, get rid of this. Or even if we come down here and make a higher low, and that's what I want to see. I want to see a confirmed bottom. But I have some ideas what could happen based off of what's going on in traditional markets, which I'll share a little bit later. I just wanted to so right here we had got this here. Right.
Someone said blockchain comics, he said just look at the classic double top on the weekly time frame.
On no weekly time frame.
Do you see that on the weekly for Bitcoin?
On the RSI?
I'm not sure. Blockchain comics, if you want to re-elaborate what you mean, if it's on Bitcoin or another chart, or if it's on RSI or price, like if you could just reiterate. He said the candles, price candle, I guess.
All right, so I don't see a double top here. Let's go down on a daily, see what he's talking about there. Don't have one there.
Maybe he's referring to, how you had the top recently there, and then to the left there's like kind of a bit of a complex double top there.
Right here?
Yeah, so if you count that as one double top, like a complex one, and then on the right, that's it. Yeah, maybe he's referring to that.
It's possible. I more or less I don't see a double top. I mean, currently, because to me, I see if I want to see a double top, this is more like price action trending down and breaking down. I don't look at it as any sort of top because we broke down, right? So we broke down and we built support all through here, kind of built a base. Price action was rounding. We knew price was going to go up. We also knew it was going to go up for multiple reasons here, I called this back in January for everybody that we're gonna have some sort of correction here. We'll go on a we'll go on a weekly here. So the higher the time frame, the more powerful the move. So we had a bullish divergence here on the weekly.
That's a very important point for people watching. So the higher the time frame, the more powerful the move. Could you explain what you mean by that and why that might be the case?
It's just how I explain it. Just think about it. Like, you think a 4 hour is going to supersede a daily time frame? So if a daily time frame is coming down, it really doesn't matter what the 4 hour is doing. You know, especially if you have the daily coming down. Now you have a 3 day coming behind it. Now you have a weekly. So it takes a lot to reverse that momentum.
Mm.
You know, basically that's all markets are is momentum. But we had bullish divergence here back in January. And I said, all right, we got our bullish divergence. We should have a nice little correction up. And that's when I was
exactly
saying that this zone up here, I didn't personally think would make it to here. You know, to keep it honest, I thought would stop here around 25. But once we blasted through there, I knew this was our next area of resistance that was going to be met. And obviously, we got rejection there pretty good. And if we go to here, so we'll show everybody how this works. Now, you can get your entry for this reversal here because we had so many bearish divergences being overtaken by prices keep going up. But when you had this drives here of, you had a simple bearish divergence into a zone, a major resistance zone. So that's the top. This second drive of bearish divergence on a 4 hour called the top. Now it took a couple days to play out. Now it's playing out. So that's why divergence is so important. And I'll be quite honest, many good traders aren't going to let people know that.
Divergences. So for those who don't know, divergences is when you have an opposite gradient on the RSI compared to the price. So the chart you have at the bottom in white is the RSI, relative strength index, and then at the top you've got your candles. So you're getting, let's say higher highs on the candles at the top and then lower highs on the RSI. Is diverging, and so you're kind of looking for those divergences basically to determine if you think there's going to be a breakout either up or down. And
no, the divergence is the reversal.
So it's the reversal in price basically. So right now you're on the daily and weekly time frame, because there's bearish divergence, you're expecting a reversal back down because it's
Now here's the other thing too, because I mean, it's not what it is. It measures momentum. RSI measures the momentum. Look how much energy it took to get price where it's at. Like RSI is already back almost up to the bullish control zone. It took a lot of energy, and price really didn't go anywhere. So that tells you a lot too.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I look at. Let's jump to another chart. Oh, so let me go to my other chart here. Actually, let me finish this real quick. So I kind of see this at the moment. We'll show you a couple. We just do this without the RSI, just simple price action. And then a couple on a 12 hour to make you see it better. We got this. We got a couple different possible patterns going on. Yeah, I don't have anything prepared. I figured to show everybody like a clean, what they call it, a naked chart, just so I can show you like my process of how I'm looking at the market and how I chart. We got something like this.
I mean, this process alone is probably worth a few $1,000s in trading lessons. Okay, so you're looking at the head and shoulders there, yeah.
Really, art not so neat, but you know, something like this. And this would get us, this is it right here. This yellow so everybody can see. You just take this. Once we break this neckline, down we go.
Okay, so we're looking around 21K for it to retrace back to.
Yeah,
20,
at the very least.
yeah, that's a good resistance as well, 21.5. So that's what
Yeah,
we had the 2 peaks on the left, 3 peaks.
you know what we can do? Let's do this real quick. Let's jump to, go here. Let me jump to the Bitcoin futures. And look, we have a nice gap down here as well.
Oh, yes, we do. So we'd need to fill that. Have we not filled that gap yet?
No, and we actually, believe it or not, we haven't all went all the way down at 9,800. No, we don't always fill every single gap, but generally you do.
But that 20, no, I think that 21.5 is very likely to be filled if we're going down to around that range anyway, like 21.5.
So, but the problem is, if we do that, let me go back to the clean chart. Go to a daily here.
So for those watching who don't know what the gap is or what we mean by filling, basically.
All right, so in the regular traditional markets, in the futures market, they're only traded, they're not traded 24 hours a day. So basically, with the market closes at one price and opens higher or lower the next day, it creates a gap in price. So technically, you have orders sitting there. You have liquidity sitting there that never got to participate in the market. So the market likes to go back and test that area for either support or resistance. You know.
So when we fill the gap, it's basically the price going back to that range, and that gap is 21.5K. So likely to hang around there.
This is like 21.6, bro. 21.5. So, but the only problem is, let's see what happens here. Just draw a trend line, a simple trend line. We'll lose this trend line. Right here. If that happens, this yellow line, we would lose this trend. So, and there's another pattern that's been forming lately here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go like this. It's up a little bit. We have an ascending Browning wedge. I mean, yeah, ascending Browning wedge, which is bearish. So that's another pattern you could have seen forming here as well into major resistance. So at the very least, we should come back. Look, it brings us back to, like, you know, whenever we come in contact with this line. But the problem is, once you lose this trend here,
yeah,
the target is the bottom where it started. Right. So that's generally the target, the bottom where it started. So, like I said, I am definitely not bullish about anything right now. I haven't been for a long time. And trust me, when I start to become bullish, I will let everybody know. Like, it's not fun to be a bear all the time because nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are feeling more bullish now because of how hard this rally hit, and also the news around the dollar becoming, unstable, more less stable. So people are moving money to Bitcoin. So would you say, what would your conditions need to look like for you to go from bearish to like, all right, I'm bullish now?
See some sort of double bottom, some sort of higher low, and really, I want to see capitulation. I want to see people completely give up. I want to see the market just
capitulation, like proper capitulation this time around.
I don't believe we have seen capitulation yet. And for the Bitcoin cycles, the Bitcoin halving's not till next year.
Yep.
So we're really far away from that. And if I go to another chart, do I have this? Oh, this is my monthly chart. Every cycle, these green lines represent the halving.
Yeah.
Right. So, but generally we come down, and we come down again. Like, so this was capitulation. Then we came down, tested basically for support, and we made some sort of double bottom here, and then we ran off. All right, we did that back in 2015. 2019, we made a bottom here.
Yep.
Price went up, came all the way back down for a double bottom before the halving. So we're kind of making a little pattern here. So to think we're bullish without making some sort of bottom, I mean, I don't, it's foolish. It's foolish to think that way, from in my opinion.
Mm.
So I'm looking here. This is the Bitcoin monthly. So we've done that twice in the past. We should do that again. And here's the other thing too. Bitcoin has never been in a traditional market, bear market before.
Yeah.
So we don't really know how it's going to perform. The only thing we have to go from is the COVID crash. Well, everybody remember oil going to zero, everything, everything gets reevaluated. Everything
Oh
gets priced
yeah,
into
oil went to like negatives, didn't it?
Yeah. Bitcoin went to what? We crashed. We came all the way down here.
Yeah.
So everything drops to zero like real fast, basically, and gets reevaluated.
Yeah.
There is no safe haven. Even gold dropped. So that's what a crash is. Everybody gets scared, it's pulling their money.
Mm.
And then everybody gets margin called, all sorts of things are happening at the same time. So that's what a crash is. A crash is a reevaluation. Not that I want to see one, but we'll go back to Bitcoin and stuff, but while I'm on that point, let me pull up another chart. Okay, this is the Fed's fund rate. It shows you in the past. So this bottom here shows the yield curve inversion. Every time it dumps into the red, we call that signal 1. Now here's the Fed's fund rate. So I know everybody's waiting for, the Fed pivot, things are going to get better. That's just not how it is. So this blue line represents the Fed interest rate and when they actually pivot. So I could go back and mark them all out. Well, it's generally between a 38 and 60% crash that comes after the Fed pivot. So it's really hard for me to be bullish knowing that's going to happen. And that's like 100% probability. Like that's happened since the beginning of the market.
Mm.
I really have find a hard time being bullish in front of that. So this is 2000, the dot-com bust, price drop about 50%. All right, this line shows the Fed pivot. They pivoted, down the market went. The Fed pivoted here, and the market actually ran up like, let's say, another 25%. The rate, when they started decreasing rates, the market dropped 50%. Or 55, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So knowing that's going to happen, the probabilities are very extremely high that that's going to happen. You really don't want to be bullish upon that, in my opinion. And so one more thing here, I believe we're like kind of mimicking the 2000 dot-com boom. I mean, dot-com bust, the bubble bust. And if you look closely here, right?
Yeah.
We had this trend line, price broke above it, and made a nice double top. Now this is a double top. Boom, came up, and then down we went.
Mm.
Now look at current time. Is that look familiar?
Oh yes, it looks very familiar. We just formed a double top there as well.
Right, and this is the S&P.
Yeah. So I think if people have been around in crypto and the markets long enough, they would know when the S&P goes down 10%, Bitcoin's going to go down harder than 10% usually.
All right, so this is why I said to somebody before, like Bitcoin has outperformed the market on this move up. So basically Bitcoin outperformed traditional markets on this current move up since January.
Mm.
So I'm going to suspect it's going to outperform the market on the way down as well.
Yeah.
It's a
So
risk
if you're
asset.
expecting, let's say historically the S&P dropped 50% in those down moves. Let's say the S&P drops 50% here, then would you say it's reasonable to expect Bitcoin to drop from like 60, 70% from where it is right now?
Easily.
Yeah. So
Well,
that would put it around that kind of bearish range of like
that would fill that gap
4.5,
down there.
13K for you.
That would fill that gap around 9,800.
Yeah, yeah, it could wick down there as well. Actually, yeah.
So I'm not calling for 9,800. Anything below like 12, 13, I'm a buyer.
Oh yeah, 12, 13K. That sounds like a very good, place to buy. I would stack up, around there as
Yeah,
well.
I'm not going to start getting picky, try to, pick the bottom. But, if we start to break this 15K, I'm going to
Yeah,
wait to see something. But yeah, we can go down more. Usually
yeah,
when capitulation happens, it happens fast.
yeah.
We'll know. We'll know pretty fast where we're going. So yeah, I was just trying to show everybody this chart because this looks like the .com bubble burst. My targets for here, very least, we're going to have a 26% drop in the market. That's my best case scenario.
Mm,
All right. So the worst case scenario is a 50% drop in the market, which would bring us to this 2,200 in the S&P. So my hopes is to show people what's happened in the past, because it generally, doesn't happen all the time, but generally it does. That's why I love to look at charts. That's how I get an idea what could happen in the future.
yeah. I mean that in itself is really good data. So the double top on the S&P as a signal of where the traditional markets are going, we're expecting it to replicate what it did in the past, which is about a 50% move down. The S&P drops 50%, then Bitcoin we can easily expect to go down 60, 70%. That would bring it down to your target of around 12, 13K. That's a great buy zone. And so that alongside your other indicators that you've pointed out, like the daily and weekly bearish divergence, you showed the double top, or not double top, but kind of like hitting that top zone on Bitcoin as well. The rejection around 30K. We do have the daily. Someone pointed out we've got the daily close coming up in about 30 minutes now. What
On
do you think
Bitcoin,
about Bitcoin? Yeah. So what do you think about the last, let's say the last week or so and today's close? Like, is that
well,
telling you we're going down further? I mean, to me, it tells me we're going down further because it's a tight bear channel. But I want to hear what you think.
all right. So yeah, there's a whole nother pattern here.
Okay.
Yeah, just like you said, it's where am I here? We're in this, like, we'll call this something like this. All right.
Yep.
That's a bearish channel. It broke down. There's multiple things going on here. You can draw ascending wedges. You can draw all sorts of things. Um, I would go with the head and shoulders that play, only because this, like, 20, we'll call this 26.6. What is this?
Mm,
26.7. This is what they call the yearly pivot. And I'm a pivot
yeah.
trader. I use the pivots a lot. So I can see us getting a bounce here, like I said. Some sort of bounce here, right? Maybe down to the monthly. We're going to trap some shorts and some bears here. So everybody's going to break out trade this, and everybody's going to get trapped in their position, and they're going to push the price up, use their liquidity real quick, catch some more longs up here, and then boom, bring it back down. That's how they do it. They don't just take it one direction right away. They want to get as much liquidity as possible in the market. So we could have one last push up to trap some more longs. What I'm thinking. Because what people don't understand, market makers, they cannot get in and out of positions in one time.
Yeah.
It takes them weeks to months to get their positions filled.
That's true. So they have to kind of sweep forwards, then sweep backwards, and then go to wherever they want to go.
But if we lose this yearly pivot and we break down 25, I'll say like 25K. General number. If we lose 25K,
Yeah.
to me it's over. We're going.
Mm.
That a lot of people are going to stop at our position. Longs, because we got right here. Everybody broke out traded this long right here. All right. A lot of people are going to get trapped right here, so they're going to come down, push them out of their positions, close their trades. That's why I don't like the breakout trade. You just get trapped in your position.
Have you heard of the Cretaceous Paleogene extinction event chart?
No, you
I don't know if I've got it. I don't know if I've got it. Let me see if I've got it. It's quite a good one because I'm pretty sure you've seen the chart as well yourself, but you probably don't know you've seen it. Let me see. I know who always posts this chart. It's
yeah, I really haven't been on Twitter too much or anything lately. I've been kind of busy.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you can carry on. I'll get the chart.
No problem. Yeah. All right, so let's jump to Ethereum. Well, everyone wants Omi. Should we give them Omi? That's what they want. All right. Look at everybody Omi. I do love Omi. You know, I like the whole thing. I did quite well with it in the last.
Oh yes, if you could cover Omi actually, because so my opinion on Omi, right? So because I've been studying the Al Brooks course as well, like what it's told me is when there's a tight trend, a reversal is like 80% of the time likely to fail, and what you're going to expect are pullbacks and then continuations into a trading range. And right now it looks like Omi is not even in the trading range phase. It's just on a very tight bear channel right now, and I don't see anything to indicate otherwise right now.
This channel's done. This channel's done. It met its target.
Yeah.
Here. We get rid of this. We don't need this anymore. What I think we do have. Hold on 1 second. Maybe something like this. I'll bring this over. I know this works. Oh, yeah, let's bring this over here for a minute. Oh, hold on. We're doing something like this. For Omi. We're dropping below.
Yeah.
Making a spring here. Okay. Kind of looks like that, right?
Yeah.
We're dropping below this entire range. So this is a range here. Bottom of the range. To the top of the range. We lost the range. So what they do is try to create some sort of capitulation here. I mean, my worst case scenario is down here, 0004, we'll call it.
Have you seen the entire price chart of Omi? So pre IEO chart.
No, I don't know how.
Let me. Okay, so I'll show you that, and then I want to get your opinion after you've seen that chart. But before I show you that, let me show you the Cretaceous Paleogene extinction event chart. Because someone, so Sound Money, he shared this chart and he said, "This is the chart of what Omi is gonna look like," and it's like as a meme, as a troll. But I'll just show you the chart. So we've got the the typical phase.
What that is? That's a dying coin.
Anger, depression, deeper depression, wrecked, rector, ultimate rector, annihilation, and then right at the end you've got the Cretaceous Paleogene extinction event. That's the true market cycle right there.
Yeah, well, that's where coins that just kind of die off. That's usually happens. You know, I've been around whatever since like 2010. I've seen a lot.
So
I've seen a lot
How
of
can
cycles,
you?
and there's a lot of coins that never make it to the next cycle.
So what I'll do is I can send you this link as well. I'll drop it in your Telegram group for you now. But basically, CoinLaw, what they do is they have historical pricing data. So data that was only available on DEXs before centralized exchange listings, and then they'll provide that to you. So if I go to,
Well, just share it on your screen. I can see it.
yeah, okay. So CoinLaw, price chart, price chart, price chart. I think if I just click that. Oh, here we go. Yes.
Okay.
I go to all. So this is what the price historically looked like. So we only started getting data around here, like from where my cursor is, right? So when it was 0022, or around here, yeah. And then we saw this,
Yeah,
which
that's
was
my first part
March.
only.
Yeah. So if I zoom into this part, you'll be able to see better. So this right before that run up in February, this is where the price was in January. It was
I
here
started
at,
buying Omi the first time.
yeah, quad 04. So 4 zeros and a 4. And then we didn't have that much resistance from 4 zeros and 7 to 0002. And from 0002, we kind of hung, yeah, we basically went 00032, 00042, 0063. And then we kind of hung around here, 006869. And then we pumped straight to 002. So from 0006.
So what's that right before we pop? Right, what's that number?
Which one?
That's 000 what? 6?
Oh, this one here is 0006 where my cursor is. Yep.
All right, so that's where we're at right now.
Yeah. So that was basically on the volume at the bottom. You can see that was the last price before we got a huge surge in volume.
Now,
So the price that we're at, basically, we're lower than that right now. But yeah, around there is
so
where
what's
we're
the
at.
next spot below that?
The next spot below 0006s is
Where we had an impulse.
0042. So that was literally the day before 0042, and then it went to 0006.
Oh, Ford probably in the cards. I mean, if you think Bitcoin drops 50, 60%, we can't drop 40%.
Yeah. So
I mean, but the thing is, Omi's been quite beat up prior to whatever Bitcoin's been doing for the past year, 3 years
yeah,
or so. So, I mean, there's not much left to beat up.
yeah.
Like, it's
So
not.
based on the way that this price has moved, so the last price that we were at before the volume kicked in was at the peak, 0006s, which is where we're at right now. So if volume falls off even more, if sell pressure exceeds buy pressure, then the next level down from 0006s is literally 0004s, 0003s, and then 0002s, and then we're looking at the quad zero range after that.
Sorry, I was reading something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so we don't have that much resistance, but like for every like 20-30% drop after 0004, like it just goes 4, 0003, 0002, 0001, and then quad 6.
yeah, I kind of thought, I'll be honest, sorry. I thought we'd find a bottom for Omi.
Mm.
This is what I was
Let me
thinking.
re-add your screen back on. There we go.
I was thinking we'd find a bottom here in these markets somewhere between September and October.
Mm.
I got this. I pushed this a little bit a few months ago. This is where I was gauging the bottom to be for Omi.
Yeah.
Whenever we get in this zone here between these two red lines. So that's when I think all the markets could bottom. That's why I'm looking for a real bottom in the market. Starting, they always say sell May, go away. It really actually is true. Yeah, I don't know. Homie, you just, you believe in it. You think it'll go, I want to see exchanges really. I mean, I may buy some for fun down here. Quite honest.
Yeah, I'd probably pick up a bit at 0004s as well.
Yeah.
But if everything comes down, I just feel like it's like a candy store. It's like a sweet store. Like
Oh yeah.
there'll be so many other tokens where I'm like, I feel like their teams have more evidence to back up deliveries and like use cases and things and utility. Like I would feel like because I felt that same way in December. I had the option of buying Omi, buying Illuvium, and buying IMX. Those were like the three things I was looking at, and I ended up buying a bit more Omi, which I kind of regret now, because it's the one token out of the three that didn't rally in January. Like IMX went 3x, 4x, Illuvium went 3x. I was like, oh man, I could have made back all my losses and profit if I just picked one of the other two tokens.
Yeah. I mean, I got Omi a long time ago.
Yeah, you got in a very good price though. You still
Last time I
profit.
sold Omi was January 22. I sold
Oh,
those
so
right
you
here.
sold at the top, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, attempted to buy back in because I was I'm over leveraged in VB, to be quite honest. I put a lot of my trading gains from Omi into VB.
Oh, yes. So do you feel comfortable sharing how much you put into VV or how much your vote is worth now?
It sold a little bit. I'm down about 90%.
Oh, you're down 90% on VV. Oh, and I know you made quite some decent games that you threw into VV, so that's what we would call down bad.
I bought it. I got caught in VB. I
Yeah.
expected MCP and all this VB verse stuff a long time ago. I was one of the first people in VB, I believe. I got in March. I don't know. I was one of the first, but I was the first probably batch of people, I guess. I did quite well in Omi. I think I
I
turned like
mean,
50, I about 9x, almost 10x my money in Omi. I had like somewhere between 50 and 75K. Had 10x and dumped it into VB.
oh wow, so you 10x your money and then you made a 10x loss on VV. So you broke even on that, but it was a good experience.
I definitely prefer trading than investing.
Yeah. I mean, with Vivi, is that 10x down on your vote value or how much you would have if you sold accounting for fees as well?
I think it was like the vault value is somewhere around 190K or something.
Oh, okay. So,
At one time, I was up about $500,000 in VB.
oh,
But I bought it for the next bull run anyways. That was my plan.
yeah. Fair enough.
I just bought it. I thought it was cool. Kind of,
Mm,
I like it. I like VB. I like the whole idea. Um, I'm, I'm not gonna talk bad about my own investment, but they kind of let me down with the exchange bit.
yeah, I think the idea, vision is great. It's just execution was lackluster. I feel like they dropped the ball on executing. Because, for example, Omi, we can't trade it and we can't really buy it because of the extremely low volume. And that's just purely down to lack of exchanges. And I think it's understandable when we have a lack of exchanges if it's to do with a very specific reason. But when you're seeing meme coins like, Come Rocket and, like I bet you Pepe gets onto a top tier exchange before Omi does.
Well,
I guarantee Pepe will.
quite honest, it only costs about $200,000-$300,000 to get listed on this thing.
Yeah, it doesn't like $300,000 sounds like a lot to us, but for a company that churns in millions in a bear market, like it's not a crazy amount of money, especially if you're around in a bull market and made hundreds of millions.
Right.
Like,
They could just use my money for exchange. I wouldn't mind.
Even you would pay for the exchange.
I would have paid for it myself with my,
Yeah.
At the time. Hey, we all live and learn.
Let me pay 200K. That will give me an extra 1 million on my Omi investment. So that's a smart business decision.
But honestly, when we get to the next bull cycle, it doesn't matter what the coins are. They're all going to fall into a rotation. So whether they're a good project, a bad project or not, the price will go up because that's just what happens. Because what happens in a bull run is the altcoins go into rotation. You got the second layer, Ethereum, then you had the NFT coins. They all get grouped together. And at the very end, everybody's, oh no, let me find like the 100 penny coin. You know, like that's like the last rotation. When we still there, when the next bull run, I'll buy it just for the heck of it.
So outside of Omi, is there anything else you're looking to kind of trade, I guess?
I mean,
Trade or invest?
I'm purely just trade Ethereum, to be quite honest. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's your bread and butter, isn't it? Ethereum trading.
Yeah. When here, let me go back here. Let me show you this something so everybody understands. So generally, these green lines represent the halving. So out of the 100% of the move from the bottom to the top, 75% of your gains come after the halving. So even if you miss the bottom, the real gains don't come until after the halving. And generally, the altcoins are far behind because Bitcoin and Ethereum, all the money flows into it to push the price up. And once the price starts moving up, then the money trickles down the altcoins. So, right when you see the bull market about to take off, that's when I'll jump into a lot of coins and whatever the current narrative is at the time. Yeah, pretty much. Sure, I'll jump into probably like 10, 15 different coins, ride them up. I'll set my price levels for taking profit. I'll take my profit and I'll leave a small portion to let it keep running. And I will sell the top or very close to the top. That's the whole idea.
So for the top, so this is a good question, right? Because I've made this mistake as well in the past. Is I hold and I try and I just think it'll go up infinitely, as many people do. So what's your main thing that you're looking at to indicate to you
All
this
right.
is a good top to sell at? Like, I think we're at a top.
All right. So we're going to go back to more the time frames, right?
Yeah.
All right. So higher the time frame, more powerful. So when we have a big run up, I'm not going to be looking at it daily. I'm going to be looking at like a weekly. So let's just pull up a weekly. Let's see what happened here last time. All right. I mean, this was a good top here. You would have caught your top on a weekly time frame. Look at this. One drive, second drive, third drive. Look, it caught the top of the market for this current move. And then look, you had another divergence here from here to here on a weekly. So that's what I look for. Divergence on the higher time frames.
Okay. So weekly divergence, you would say, is kind of like your main thing then.
I mean, we had weekly here. Don't get me wrong. We had weekly for this move, but this move here, we had this weekly. Yeah, the higher time frames are usually the change of the cycle. So if we didn't have all this going on in traditional markets, this very well could be. This still could be the bottom. I could be completely wrong. Just because I think we're going to 12K or 10K doesn't mean I'm right. But I'm gonna let the market tell me when I'm wrong. You know, so I'd rather see, like I said before, some sort of bottom formation, some sort of double bottom, something like that, push up. I want to see the support held. I want to see the support held rather. I'll let the market tell me because nobody knows exact tops and bottoms.
So Sona said, "God's entry legend. Tell him I bought $7,000 worth of Omi yesterday, and I'm already down $400."
Well, yeah, that happens.
Oh, we got Cavell Anderson.
Yo, Cavell, what's up, buddy? I started with Convel.
Yeah, I know. I know you told me. The odds entry doesn't care about the noise, only the charts. That's a good way to approach it. You know what? So I've been doing funded trading, and I found myself, I just don't. It's just too much fuss looking at news. I just don't look at news at all. I just trade the price action.
All right, so
Yeah.
that's what happens across this journey. You know, when you start the trading journey, you go from looking at fundamentals and all this other stuff that really has nothing to do with anything.
Mm,
The charts kind of tell you everything.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, because it's interesting because I feel like when news comes out, the news is already priced in usually because the market makers have already planned for the move before the news becomes public and spread. Because it's interesting because each candle tells a story. I've noticed. If it's a doji candle, it could be a fight between bears and bulls. If you got tight bear channel, everyone's like panic selling. So a lot of the times, the market makers, I've noticed, they'll influence the news to push it in the direction they want the price to go. And so essentially the news is technically already outdated. And
Yeah,
so that's why I'm like, you know what, it's just too much fuss, too much hassle. I'd rather just trade the price action.
they definitely need extra liquidity.
Mm,
Like I said, a market maker, it's not really about, how I'd say, it's not about manipulation. It's about where can I find the most liquid so I can get in and out of my position. That's how they're thinking. They're
yeah.
not thinking about, oh, I made it. That it's not. They need a spot for liquidity, so if they have to, they'll create it. I mean, it's kind of vicious. It's just how it is. You have a question? Yeah, I mean, I would love to sit here and tell you I'm bullish. I know I'm just can't.
No, I'm in the same boat. I mean, you've known I've been on more on a bearish side for now, just because I feel like we haven't seen real capitulation. And also that bearish divergence on the daily time frame, that's been driving me nuts. I'm like,
All
no
right,
way can we keep going up when this is there. Like, it
what are
just
you
doesn't make
talking about?
sense.
This?
You
Talking
just-
about this on the daily?
yeah, the
Well,
daily time frame, Bitcoin, the bearish divergence there. Yeah, like
so we
top
had.
four. Yeah,
We
that's the one.
all right,
All
so
the
we
way
had it
down
here.
to the bottom and then all the way up to top.
Yeah, so we had it here, right?
Mm-hmm.
We did get our impulse back down, and gave us our correction here, right?
Mm.
All right, and we had
Yep.
it again here. All right.
Yep.
1, 2, 3 drives, down we go. 1, 2, 3 drives, down we go. Then he even had a double top. This is a exaggerated right here. So you got to think about it. We had a pretty big move up. Okay.
Yeah.
We pumped whatever it was, 30, 40%. Then we brought it up again, 100%. What do people really think we're going to do right now after we just pumped 100% in 3 or 4 months?
We need to go down. 100%
Yeah.
pump is
Yeah.
ridiculous, especially in this macro environment. It doesn't make sense.
But all those different daily drives of divergence, what did we do? Let's go to a 3-day. So in 3-day, look at that exaggerated divergence right here. So we created divergence on a higher time frame, which is once again more powerful. Boom. You know, not really touch the tops, but you know, once again, what do we have? 1, 2, multiple. It's like quadruple divergence. So
Oh,
eventually it plays out, you know,
mm.
if it does. So, doing
Well,
great, man. I'm
yeah,
just waiting for the
Cabela's
next bull cycle.
up.
Trying to protect everybody from buying Omi too early.
Oh, Danny the Bull, he says, "What's up,
Oh,
fellas?"
Danny.
Okay,
How
and then
many people we got here?
we got nearly 50 people.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
got a lot of people asking for your opinion on. Well, let's just say, let's generalize it. So, what's your opinion on people who work for companies selling tokens that they bought based off of information that obviously they would be privy to that the public wouldn't know? Because in the stock market world, because I worked for an asset management firm, I would have to fill in like a form telling them what stock I was going to buy. I had to do it in advance, and I had to wait for it to be approved. And if I wasn't allowed to sell it less than 30 days. There's a lot of regulation in place, regulation called MiFID and MiFID 2, so Markets in Financial Instrument Directives. It's just a way to prevent insider trading between traditionally it started off in investment banks, because you know how investment banks have he's going to be back.
this is what term.
Oh yeah, so
That doesn't work.
traditionally
The lighting's bad. I don't know how to do it.
oh yeah, sure, yeah, you can fix your lighting.
Oh well. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. It's just kind of dark. I didn't get one of them ring lights like you guys got.
Yeah. It looked funny. You're like you look like a bit of a ghost, like your head's just floating. It's okay now, like we can, the background from the chair light kind of shows your body and everything now. Yeah, so traditionally in investment banks, we've got like a buy side and a sell side, so buying equities, selling equities, and they're not really technically allowed to communicate with each other because you can get insider trading that way. And so in crypto, there was never any kind of solid regulation about, if you work for a company, can you buy and sell the company's assets? However, just because the regulation hasn't like been established in law like properly, the courts do still, penalize for that kind of thing. So examples include very recently Coinbase. There was a guy who was working there, and he got his brother to buy and sell stuff. So it wasn't even a lot that he made. I think he made about 20,000. But he spent he spent some time in prison for that. And very recently, there's another project, NFT project called Hero, and they made a public policy because they had a security breach where one of their own team members was trading off of inside information, apparently. So they made a policy where they're going to make sure that, I don't know, maybe team members aren't allowed to buy and sell on, these drops and things like that. Yeah, so it.
Why?
Yeah, what do you think?
When did it resell?
Huh?
They're talking about when resold?
Yeah, that's what they're talking about.
Right. Did they sell recently?
I had a look at some of the data. What they're trying to say is based off of certain events like exchange hype, IMX hype, some big AMAs, the OUP announcement. He would always move his tokens to an exchange a couple of days before. So they're asking, based off of selling off of like those events, allegedly selling,
Right.
because the data shows movement of tokens, a couple of days before these big events. What do you think about that? Like, but I gave it in a generalized way. So, like, what do you think about people who work for companies selling off of information that only they would know, that people in the public wouldn't know?
I mean,
Because it's crypto, so it's less regulated as well.
just think about the position he's in. I mean, did he sell the top? I'm going to say, not saying, I don't want to say about anybody, but I'll say, what if the person didn't really sell the top? That's the top, or not the top, but that was like the end of the bull run type of deal.
Yeah.
But where they're selling.
Oh, well, a lot of the sales were near the top, like
Oh.
IMX time, like
Oh, really?
Everything was pumping.
Oh, well, not right. Not right, for the community, especially when the community actually believes in it. Uh, Maybe just had orders, was sitting there waiting.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think if you work for a company, your public. Oh, sorry, I was sneezing there.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think if you're a company, so typically founders and employees, they'll make their wallets public, especially if they have token unlocks. Um, and even if you buy your own tokens, I believe just for the integrity of the company, you should have your wallet public if you're an employee, just for like just for basic ethical reasons. Because there's nothing stopping. Because the whole point that projects will make their dev wallets public, their founder wallets public, their business wallet public. They make all of that stuff public because they want to ensure that there's trust with them and the community. Now they can make one of their wallets public and have a private wallet that they don't make public and they can trade off that. But if you get told that, then all of a sudden you question the integrity of that project and the team. So I think if you're an employee, you should, you know, you should just for the integrity of the project and just to get rid of any doubts and fears. Like I think it's better just to make your wallet public, because if you're not planning to trade off of um, you, information that you would know, or if you do want to sell, people can see exactly when you're selling. Like it's not correlated to anything. I think that's just it's just easier and it's less risky for the company as a whole as well. And you won't bring up some random doubts and things with your community. That's for all projects, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. But what's even more sketchy is being a coin that how long have they been out? Since 2017 or 18 or something?
Yeah, it's been around for like 5 years, 6 years.
Oh yeah, they're not on exchange, right? That's very sketchy.
that
Just
yeah,
that
that is
alone
still
is
a
very
question to this
sketchy.
day.
That's very sketchy for me, from my experience in crypto. Like that doesn't even make sense.
Mm,
The day it dawned on me was like when we're not getting what we're told, you know, honestly, because I kind of get a little bit mad at myself because I already know better.
yeah,
You know, I think that matters a little bit more than what Reese did.
yeah. I did hear today actually. So we won't spend too long on this topic, but I did hear today that in a Twitter Spaces, someone brought it up and they said that they're not allowed to make a statement about it. So I don't know what's happening. It'll be interesting to see how they approach it only because the hero team admitted the same thing. Well, some form of insider trading, but so I don't know if you're the same as me. I think you probably have a similar mindset, but I don't like judge a company or someone the first time based off of a mistake, but I tend to judge them based off of how they handle that mistake. And the way that Hero handled the security breach was really good, in my opinion. They publicly announced it. They even named the person involved from the team. They said they restricted his account. And they said that all the stuff that he bought, they're going to take it and they're going to give it away to the people in the community. And they put forward a policy where moving forwards, all team members have to abide by this policy and they're going to show it in a transparent way. So that for me, I was like, wow, fantastic. Like, this is the first time I've seen a big breach with this project Hero, but they've handled it in a way where as a user, I'm okay with it. Like I feel like, all right, I can trust these guys. So I think the way that a project handles these things is more important than, you know, the severity of it happening in the first place. Unless it's a repetitive thing, then you've got some screw up going on. But what do you think about that?
Definitely, they definitely have to be transparent. I mean, if they want to be like proper business that lasts decades or at least 10 years, you know what I mean? Why wouldn't you be?
Mm.
Um,
I've got a question from Sona, because if you know Sona, you would know that he believes the Binance token has no father figure. So what what's your thoughts on the BNB chart?
I mean, BNB is generally a pretty good coin, but we're making a giant bear flag right here.
So we're expecting to go down. Yeah, I can see that. Yep.
We go like this. And you can draw this a couple different ways. You could say this is more like a, you could say even like this. It's a wedge.
Mm.
This could even be a bullish pattern, actually. Now I'm just looking at it. Actually, this is a bullish pattern right here. 1 second. Let me get rid of this. It's gonna be one of two things here. Do something like this. Maybe some sort of ascending wedge. I mean, ascending channel. The bullish case for this. Yeah, let's look at this. The bullish case for this could be this. This is a 3-day time frame, so it's a pretty big time frame. So this could be something like this. Let me look at something real quick. We don't know a chart. Let me go here. All right, so right off the bat, we have some bearish divergence here on a 3-day. I really don't like finance and BNB, and just because I can't trade on it because I'm in the United States.
Yeah, Sona says send the Ponzi to 0, referring to Binance coin.
Yeah, it's pretty. It looks kind of weak. Like, so think about it. All right, let's see what it looks like compared to Bitcoin. That's what people are talking about altcoin season coming. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. This is the top. When you see all the YouTubers talking about altcoin season and all this nonsense, I'm like, yep, this is the top.
Yep, yeah.
It's quite hilarious.
I bought a bit of IMX token today. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that because Dan Kern and Ron Crypto Ghost, both of them are kind of using IMX as like a nice token for trading. Because it's got very good volume. It's on a ton of exchanges.
IMX, it's a good part.
IMX project fundamentals are great, and it's an L2 token. It's a new one, and it's had a nice run up again since January. It was down quite a lot.
This is a 3-day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this thing's going down. I mean, it's going to do what Bitcoin does, obviously.
Yeah.
It's trending down. Maybe you want to do something like this. This is a 3-day time frame. So it looks like we're going to keep pushing down. Maybe I do something because you can draw your patterns on RSI.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just draw patterns on RSI. I don't even look at the price action.
Would you not say we've got some bullish divergence there though, with 3 touches coming up to 3 touches, one more touch?
Right here.
Yeah, so we've got down, and then on the price we're going up. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we could even draw it from like further back, but yeah.
What I'm saying is we're making a wedge here.
Yeah. Descending wedge is a bullish pattern though, isn't it?
Correct. Well, here's the problem. This 50 is a big deal to me on the RSI. Just look here. I'm going to show you something. So let's go to a lower time frame so it makes it look better. It's the same thing going up or down on RSI. I'm giving away a lot of valuable information here if anybody's paying attention. See how our price is trending up? We're right below the 50. but price is only right here, right before the 50. Look at what happens once we breach across the 50. Price just runs up. So what do we do here? Stay here. Well, I'm not going to go way up there, but we'll go here. Up 150%. This impulse above the 50 on a 2-day or 3-day time, any time frame, the higher the time frame, obviously more powerful. As soon as we breach that 50, that impulse drives the price right up. Well, the same thing happens on the way down. So we just crossed the 50. So we start, this next impulse could be quite an impulse down.
Yeah.
One thing I take note, that's how I use the RSI rather. I'm not bullish on the market at all, so I'm not going to be bullish on any other coin. That's just going to be the honest answer. I'm not saying they can't have impulses and be tradable.
So
really, I'm focused on the stock market right now. I'm not the stock for traditional markets because they're going to lead whatever's going to happen in crypto.
What time frame are you looking at for us to expect possibly that, that capitulation, that crash, that big reset?
Well, I mean, you generally get your entry. Like I said, you can always get your entry on a lower time frame, like a 4-hour, 2-hour, 30-minute. I mean, you're going to get an exact entry like on the 30-minute. 4 hours good enough for me. Once again, I'm looking for swing trades.
Yeah. Oh, by time frame, I meant like when, like in 3 months from now, 6 months. When do you anticipate
the bottom?
Yeah, or near the bottom, big trend reversal.
Probably September, October.
Okay, that's like a solid 5-6 months from now. Yeah.
Yeah. So say we actually do lose it. All right. So here's a big deal: losing this yearly pivot, like I said before.
Yeah.
Once we start trading below the yearly pivot, to me, the way I trade pivots, I'm looking for bearish moves. Now, if we come down here, nobody knows all these lines on my chart. I keep them up. This is my trading chart.
Yeah.
See how we're starting a little reaction right here. Because this is all based off of algos.
Yeah.
So the algorithms are going to buy here or not. They do not have emotion. They're going to buy here and push the price up. But once we lose this area, like I said, we lose 25 too. It's a wrap, in my opinion. We're going down to test the bottom. So this area needs to hold for another push up. And this is my absolute top for this year. Anybody calling for all-time highs, 100K this year, I think they're completely out of their mind.
Yeah.
Just being honest, I think they're completely out of their mind. I don't see us getting any further than like this 34 to 35K. That was like my extreme bullish case for the year.
Yeah, I was like 30K. Like if we go 31.5, that's pushing it for me. But
yeah, I mean, but sometimes the market likes to do what they call like a throw over, and they get trapped. A lot of people in this zone right here. And sometimes it goes past the pattern a little bit. That's how they trap more liquidity.
Sona says, Omi fooped me hard without Vaseline.
Oh my goodness.
Entry.
Well, everybody knows my opinion. I haven't traded Omi since, like I said, a long time ago. When I got out, then everything didn't follow through with their, roadmap more or less.
Oh, he meant ask God's entry. This question, he didn't mean ask God's entry about Omi fooking him hard without Vaseline.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. So if he had to put his life on the line, what will be local top? 31.5.
Exactly what I just said.
See one last higher high around 34 and then nuke.
Oh, exactly what I just said here. Yeah. So you got this little. Let's see. Let's go lower time frame here. This zone right here, I just don't see anything going past this zone. We couldn't even get to the top of the zone. So I think we're headed back down here at the very least. There's a hard rejection as far as I'm concerned. See what happens here? When we roll over, kind of looks like the same sort of fractal there.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people look for price points. I look for zones.
Yeah.
I look at, what happens when we enter a zone, what happens. I'm looking for a reaction. So this reaction right here, this very well could be the top. In my opinion, that's what I said this past weekend. I said best case scenario, we make it up to about 35, 34. Where's around here? Where that wick is, right there. That would trap a lot of people above the zone. All the breakout chairs would break out, would see this price breaking above here. All and everybody get trapped right here. Do we have another higher high? Yeah. But probability? I don't think so.
Okay, 31.5k says he reckons 31.5 is the top. Yeah. Okay. I mean that's kind of what I was looking at as well. I mean, it can go a bit, a bit higher, but this feels like it's already overextended to me. Like I don't feel like it should have gone beyond 30k so quickly, so fast.
Yeah, I mean, really gonna depend on what happens when we get to this.
Doesn't it need to come down and retest as well? Where's that retest? Like 2026, is it?
Here. Here, I'll make a zone right here so people can see it. So it needs to bounce from here.
Yes.
For another chance to go higher. In my opinion. Anytime soon.
Yeah.
So, oops. This zone, this little green zone right here.
Yeah.
Just needs to hold for another push higher.
Mm.
That's how I'm playing it. Once again, doesn't mean I'm right. I've been wrong many times.
Yeah.
The idea is you got to be flexible and you got to shift with the market. You got to be able to adjust. You can't get trapped in a bias. You just got to, every day is a new day and let the data come in the market and make a decisions on a daily basis.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Don't get trapped in a bias or following somebody that you think he knows what he's doing. The idea is to figure it out on your own.
Pretty much. Okay, so I think if there are any other questions or if there's anything else you want to cover, we can keep going for like another couple minutes.
Yeah, because I want to go out to dinner.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. So, like I said, so right now on this chart, where do you think we are?
Right.
we're at red. I mean, maybe if you're holding Omi, but I think maybe we're in the let's say we're in the denial phase. I think.
No, here, I'm going to find something for you. Hold
Oh yeah, sure.
on. I do have something I want to share for you.
Yeah, let me know when you've got it ready. I'll pull up your screen. I think we're in the euphoria stage.
Yeah. I'm going to show you something from my Discord. Pull up the screen first. Me and my buddy came up with this
Oh yeah.
a few weeks ago. Okay, let me here. What did I do? Pull this up here. Okay, present, share screen. Right here. Here, we'll share my screen.
Okay.
So this is a pattern I think the S&P is in. Bring it up with it big enough. It's called a bump and run pattern on the way down.
Okay.
So if we're in that pattern, we're in complacency right now. I mean, the market's very complacent.
Mm.
Everybody says, "Yeah, we're in a bull run. Things are good." That's complacency,
Yes.
you know, in my opinion. So this is where I think we are in the market. I didn't think we make it to anxiety, denial, or panic yet.
Yeah.
mean,
I'd agree. Because I feel
S&P,
like we just haven't had the level of capitulation that we saw last time. Like this.
this is a chart that me and my buddy came up with for the S&P worst case scenario. So
Mm.
we think we're right about here.
Oof.
That's my honest opinion.
We've still got panic, depression, capitulation, wrecked, mega wrecked, Paleogene, extinction event wrecked.
I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I'd love to be wrong, honestly. I really would. I rather see, you know, as a trader, I'm always looking for the worst case scenario. So if it happens, I can prepare for it.
Mm.
You know, but maybe I'm wrong. And it doesn't happen, and we go to the moon.
Yeah. We've got time to see. You know, people can you know, probably spend this time studying the markets, learning how to chart, read price action. You know, all the good skills, useful skills that, you know, regardless of what happens, you'll be prepared for both ways. You know, as Dan Kern also says, you know, prepare for both ways. And I think that's a good way to approach it.
And honestly, listen, if you got wrecked in this cycle, I got wrecked multiple cycles. I didn't know what I was doing. I after getting wrecked so many times, I said I need to figure this out. I want to win. I want to be able to protect my money. And you know, 2017, I wrote a lot of profits to the bottom. I took some, but when I sat there, I was like, I got to figure this out. So education right now is probably your best bet.
Yes, 100% agree. 100%.
Especially if you want to learn how to. Not so much trade, but you know, there's different styles of trading. You don't have to be a day trader. You can just be a swing trader and just trade the larger moves. That's safer and it's easier for people to do.
Yeah, I mean, swing trading, you know, it's less stressful. You're not thinking too much about it. Like, you know, you look at the charts like once a week. It's fine.
It's kind of what I've been doing now because we're in a bear market, and I'm trying to save up my energy for the bull run because I'll be trading all day long.
Oh yeah, in the bull run, yeah, I'll be looking at the charts all day in a bull run, like you know, catch those moves. Yeah.
I was gonna say thanks for having me on, bud.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so again, God's Entry. Definitely follow him on Twitter. He's easy to find. He's in the tag that I put in a post for this. And yeah, really good, insightful person. Great to learn from. Great to follow. You know, he's helped me a lot with improving my charting, my TA. You know, price action, everything. So yeah, definitely check him out. Give him a follow. Connect with him. He's got a Discord channel as well. So that I believe is in the link for your Twitter. If not, I will also include that in the post for this.
Yes.
But yeah, thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, I'll be a little bit more active here in a couple of weeks. I'm pretty busy on another project, but if you don't find me in Discord being too active, just I'll be there. Just give me a few weeks, but I'll be more active. I'll be sharing more charts and whatnot.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Catch you soon.